Mr. Dadema, it would be great to hear your input, and Ms. Affendulis, a little bit of yours as well as others in the panel, because this is something that...
In the mic a little bit, Mr. Ward.
This is a question that we've heard elements of discussed already. Previous turnaround schools have had school-level governance advisory boards. This, I understand, is a model that, Mr. Dadema, you serve on an advisory board. Is this a model that should be used at all GRPS schools, even the schools outside of the 5% list, and to foster the community involvement as well as to serve each unique social community better? Is this something that Triangle is part of currently? You've already mentioned and alluded to that. And then, Ms. Affendulis, if you could chime in a little bit from your business perspective on the opportunity for businesses to participate in such of a governance advisory model with an executive share program as well.
Okay.
Well, the advisory board is just that. It's an advisory board. And it's really based on the facts that you have to know what you know, and more importantly, you have to know what you don't know. So when embarking on a new curriculum such as design and construction, GRPS, in my opinion, had the wisdom to say, let's bring in some private industry experts that can really assist us in developing the program versus trying to find a textbook or hiring a person who's taught in a similar type of program for many years. I think we all agree some of our best teachers growing up were the ones that actually came out of industry. At the same time, as I alluded to before, we're not teachers. We don't know the newest techniques and the newest ways of engaging the students. So it's been a learning experience for any of the industry experts that have been participating with the teachers. So it's a collaborative process where we're actually bringing the knowledge base and the skill sets that the industry experts know is going to be important for the students, but then have the students and the administration take that information and apply it to the classroom.
I don't know that I can add a whole lot more to that, and I answered this not with my Student Advancement Foundation hat on, but in my capacity in Community Foundations at Universal Forest Products. And I know that our leadership is always eager to engage in these opportunities, and in fact is involved in the School of Construction also. And so, I mean, it's a viable model. I know that businesses and organizations are eager to participate, and seems good.
Thank you.
Okay, excuse me if I go over a question that's already been asked. I had to take care of my children who were waiting patiently in the car because we thought we were going to be able to play in the playground. I haven't heard a lot about pre-K things that we're planning on doing. I heard a lot of things that we're planning for the high school level. I have a child that's just going into kindergarten. But I haven't heard anything about our pre-K children, and I'd like to know what the future goal is for those children, because they are going to be our top children. They're going to be racing to the top. And then one comment I want to make about what I've seen through all of our discourses and all the things, all the meetings I've been to. I would like to see at our meetings, excuse me, I take some medicine, so I'm also not feeling very well tonight. I'd like to see more open discourse. I would like to see questions respected, and when questions are asked, I'd like to see them answered respectfully. I would like to see concerns answered openly. And when our administration, when our teachers, when our schools make mistakes, I would like them to admit there's been a mistake made, say that openly, and move forward. Because I've seen a lot of really negative things coming from different people. As I've sat in the meetings, I've seen a lot of disrespect, and it's really, as a parent, as a person, it's disheartening, and it makes the trust level go very far down, and it makes me not believe things that are being said. And I think that's so important. As a parent, I know I do that with my child. When I make a mistake, I tell my 14-year-old, I've made a mistake. I'm not perfect. But it's important to say that so that we can move forward. And the open discourse and not defensiveness, because there are mistakes that have been made. It's so crucial that we do that for our families so that people can feel confident and comfortable with Grand Rapids Public Schools and with Grand Rapids as a community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to direct the respect and civility piece to Ms. Sunita Lanier about the board and the board's interaction direction. I think that's where we need to go with that. And then Dr. Taylor, if you want to quickly address some things about pre-K.
I agree that, and maybe you did miss this when you were out, but we did talk a little bit about mutual respect and amongst all stakeholders, so administrative staff, parents, board members. We're looking, I think that's something that we definitely need to address, and we need to address that very quickly. Thank you. Oh, and I think I can answer the pre-K. I think this forum was specific to the lowest 5%, and that's the high schools are the ones that we're talking about today, and the middle schools who may possibly land on those, on the lowest 5% list. So we weren't necessarily talking about pre-K this evening.
Right here.
Yes, I was just wondering if this is an open question to any and all of you, if you could look at the 4 reform models and give your thoughts or preference for any one of those models that GRPS should be looking at, if it's for a whole district or a specific school, but just your thoughts on each one of those models. Thank you.
And I think, Dr. Taylor, you identified 2 of those models as being viable options, and that was the turnaround and transformational model, I believe, or was it can you read?
Again, as I said before, the school closure model is just not a viable option. It would create an overcrowding situation if we were to close one of our comprehensive high schools, so that's just not viable. The restart model is something that, again, if you look at our strategic direction, one of the things that we did propose in our 5-year strategic direction is that families should have three choices, 3 doors by which their children can enter into a school. Because one thing that should be important, kids shouldn't have to move all around town in order to get the service that a family wants. One of the options would be, as Mr. Dadema has talked to, is the Center of Innovation. Mr. Dadema's involvement with the Academy of Design and Construction, that's housed at Union High School. We also have one that's at Ottawa Hills High School, that is a school of business and entrepreneurship, where there's a partnership with Amway, and obviously Central is a whole school design that looks at health, science, and technology, and then we have GRAPSEP at Creston. So the bottom line is that we have history with having schools within schools on our campuses. But where we might need to start looking at is that last one. That starts to say that maybe we need to look at giving families options in their own neighborhood. But now I'm not saying we go willy-nilly into this and let anybody come in and present a charter proposal. The charter can be a district-sponsored one, and there are policies that the Board of Education has in place to govern that. But we shouldn't be afraid to entertain a proposal where it isn't a district-sponsored one. We've brokered arrangements with different organizations that look at how certain services can be contracted by the district. For example, we will be doing a food service for East Grand Rapids. We'll also be doing that with Livingstone's Academy, which will be housed at Southeast Academic Center. These are the kinds of new financial arrangements that this administration has engaged in so that we can broaden our area of expertise to provide support. So if someone would come in with a viable charter school proposal, we don't need to be afraid of it. We need to entertain it, because if it is about these children and their education and who can make that happen, then that's what we need to be considered. The transformational piece may be one that we do look at, but it is going to require, again, anything that we do that stays under the purview and jurisdiction of the district, there are contractual implications for that. So we